Okay, I'm gonna make sure that you can see. Okay, we are just gonna start out today's class in a some people call it a toe breaker pose, but it's a really deep foot stretch. So what you're gonna do is curl the toes under, come onto the knees, and sit on the heels. And if this is like just way too intense for you, you can come up higher or you can skip it. We're just gonna start out holding this for probably about a minute. So make sure you can use your hands to make sure that the pinky toe and the middle toe are curled under too, because it's easy to miss those. We're just gonna start out by placing the hands on the upper thighs. Inhaling to straighten through the back, looking ahead of ourselves. Exhaling out through the mouth one time. 2 more like that. Inhaling. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhaling. 1 more big sigh out through the mouth. We're going to take the hands overhead. Look up towards the hands. Clasp the fingers, pointing the pointer fingers up towards the sky like Charlie's angel hands. Looking up towards the hands, and then exhale. Let the hands come farther and farther back until you're in a mild back bend. Holding this for 1 inhale. And then we'll exhale. Come onto the hands, come off of the feet, and you can tap the tops of the feet on the ground a couple times. Sometimes that is good to get blood flow back into the ankles. Just noticing that my camera is weird. Okay. And then we will come into a tabletop pose. And just do a couple rounds of cat-cow. Classic. So hands directly below the shoulders, knees directly below the hips. We'll inhale, drop the belly as if there's a bunch of sandbags on our lower back. Arching the spine, pressing into all 10 fingers. Looking in front of us, inhaling here. Then we will exhale, slowly, as fluidly as we can, vertebrae by vertebrae, curl ourselves into a cat pose, looking towards our navel. Inhale, reverse the motion, cow pose. Trying to get that low belly as close to the ground as we can while pressing up through the shoulders and hands. Exhale to cat pose. 1 more round of this, inhaling to cow pose. And exhaling to cat pose. And we're going to do a little wrist stretch, sort of mirroring what we just did with the toes. So you're going to walk the hands so they're still directly below the shoulders. We're going to flip the hands so that the middle fingers are pointing towards us. In fact, all the fingers are going to be pointing towards us. The palms will still be on the ground. If this is way too intense for you, or you don't like the pressure this puts on your wrist, you can always just do this like on your knees using your hands to get that same stretch. We'll pause here, breathing into the stretch in the forearms. This can be really good if you've been talking a lot or doing a lot with your hands, sort of resetting the wrist muscles. You can even lean back a little bit if you want to increase the stretch, although it's already really intense, so don't push yourself too far. And then we'll come back up onto the knees, do a couple wrist circles, maybe shake out the hands a couple times. Great. And then we're going to come into our first downward dog for the day. This in a good way. So come into your first downward dog. The knees can be super bent in the beginning here. Aiming to get those heels to touch the ground, but not feeling frustrated with yourself if they don't first thing. We're going to pedal out through the feet, bending one knee and straightening through the other, making sure that the creases of the elbows are shining forwards towards the front of the room. Pressing through those middle fingers to help us get more of a stretch through our straight back. Pausing here, maybe you shift the hips from side to side a couple times. Great. We're going to come through plank, inhaling, looking straight down between the hands, keeping the butt nice and low here and the back nice and flat. Holding this. We'll inhale, press back up into our down dog. Exhale, come through to our plank once again. Feet and hands stay exactly where they are. Inhale back to down dog. Exhale to plank, warming up through the shoulders. Inhale to down dog. And then we're going to inch that left foot closer towards the middle line of the mat, the long waist middle line. We'll inhale and take that right leg up behind us, three-legged dog. We're going to take a hip circle, like a fire hydrant hip circle in one direction with that right leg. Still pressing really strongly through the hands. Reverse the direction of the circle, continuing to maintain a connection with the breath. We're going to kick that leg out straight behind us. And then on an exhale, we're going to take that right knee into the chest, come through our plank once again, and see if we can tap this right knee to the right elbow once. Exhale, move back into our down dog, taking that right leg out behind us. Inhale, come through to plank once again, pulling that right knee in between the elbows, this time in towards the chest. Exhale, pressing back into our down dog once again. Final knee tuck, inhale, taking that right towards the chest. See if we can tap it towards the left elbow this time. Hold this, and we'll press it back into our down dog. And then on our next exhale, we're just going to take this right foot and step it outside of the right hand in some way, shape, or form, coming into a lizard variation. So a low lunge, but with the right knee outside of the arms instead of between. We're going to place the left knee on the ground and just hold this low lunge for a second here, allowing our leg muscles to wake up. You can sway a couple times from side to side here. You can take the left hand to the ground and take an easy twist, inhaling to reach that right arm up towards the sky so that the chest is facing the inside of the right knee. Look up towards that right hand in this twist. Exhale, come back to the earth. Lift that left knee up off the ground. And hold this version of lizard too. You can heel toe that right foot off of the edge of the mat. And if you're feeling really ambitious, flexibility-wise today, or you're just feeling super open in the hips, maybe you warmed up before class today, then maybe you can climb down onto the forearms here for a deeper stretch. Awesome. We're going to inhale, step that right leg to the back of the mat. Staying in plank for a moment. Inhale here in plank, and then exhale, slowly lower your chest to the ground. Like a push-up that just doesn't end. And then we'll inhale, peel the chest up off the ground, baby cobra. Exhale, forehead comes to tips here. Inhale, peel the chest up off the ground once again, hands planted below the shoulders. And maybe you press into the hands a little bit to lift the chest a little bit higher off the ground. Exhale, chest comes back to the earth. Inhale, last one. See if you can press yourself up a little bit higher in this final cobra of this vinyasa. And we'll exhale. Forehead comes back to the earth. Curl the toes under, and fun little challenge here. You can always go through your knees, but see if you can press straight up to a plank from this. So 1, 2, 3. If you did a good job. If you didn't, good job still for giving it a shot. We'll press back into our down dog. Inhale, take the right leg up behind us once again. And this time, we're going to take the right knee between the arms. Hold it here. Holding this for 3, 2, 1. And step the right foot out between the hands. Coming into our for real low lunge this time, making sure that the foot is in front of the knee. We'll inhale, take the hands up overhead. Practice that steeple grip with the fingers. And then slowly bring the hands closer to the wall behind us and allow this to become a little back bend. Come back through center. We're going to come up off of the left knee. And on an inhale, make this a high lunge. Feeling strong here. Feeling victorious. Arms stretched overhead like you're holding a beach ball. Allowing heat to build in the hips here and the legs. Holding this. And on an exhale, we're going to open up into our warrior two. So pivoting on that back foot so that now the knife edge of the left foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat. Right foot still in that same like lunge orientation. Really focus on externally rotating through the hips here. So imagining that we are just opening the right knee as far towards the right as possible. Inhale through the hands, making sure that that front knee is still behind the front toes. And we're gonna reach forward with the right hand and reach up and walk the left hand down the left leg. Peaceful warrior, staying low in that right leg. And then we're gonna walk the feet in closer towards each other. Straighten through the legs, but still maintaining that external rotation in the hips. Left foot is still parallel with that left short edge of the mat. And we're gonna inhale, make the hands a T, keeping the hips and legs exactly where they are. We're gonna reach forward with the front hand until we can't reach farther. And we're gonna just drop the right hand to wherever it lands on the right leg. And inhale, open up through the left arm, looking up towards the ceiling. Hold this for a moment. And then we're going to come back towards center, reorient the feet so that now the left toes are pointing towards the front of the mat. So that both sets of toes are now pointing towards the front of the mat. We're going to inhale here, flat back, and exhale. You can use blocks here if you want to. See if you can bend forward over that front right leg and get a really deep hamstring stretch. This is pyramid pose. You can also always do this on the left toes, like coming up onto those left toes to take a little bit of the pressure out of that right hamstring. Keeping the back nice and flat here. This is a great opportunity to come back to the breath. So focusing on your inhale, noticing the temperature of the air, feeling the stretch through the right hamstring. Again, you can be up here as long as you're feeling a stretch in the right hamstring. You're doing this pose right. Exhaling, feeling the temperature change as the breath leaves the body. Then we're going to walk our hands to the top of the mat once again. Step that right foot behind us. Inhale and plank. And once again, lower slowly as you can. See if you can count down from 5 until you can reach the ground with your belly and chest. And we'll inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, come all the way down to the ground. And then we'll inhale once again, pressing up this time into your tallest cobra yet of the day, making sure that we're not crunching those shoulders up towards the ears, that we're pulling the shoulder blades together behind the back. Inhale here. Exhale, come back down to the earth. Come up onto the toes, come onto the toes. And then we're going to see again if we can just press directly up into that plank pose. So ready, prepare yourself. Inhale. Exhale, press up, rocket up into that plank. Make it down dog. Final round of this on the right side. So we'll kick the right foot up behind us. Controlled kick. And then we'll exhale. Bring that right knee in through a plank, pulling that knee into the chest. We'll see if we can tap that right knee towards the left elbow. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. And then we'll extend the right leg out towards the left. Come onto the soles of both the feet and open up into a fallen triangle. Pressing into both feet. Making sure you're being really mindful of this right shoulder. Only do this if it feels really steady here. Inhaling, opening, exhaling. Both hands come back down to the earth, but we leave this right foot where it is, and see if you can just lower down to the earth here with your legs in this weird L shape for a bit of a hip stretch on the right side. Lowering down onto the forearms. Right foot is still kicking out towards the left. Inhale here. And exhale. Great. We'll come back onto the hands and knees and take a quick puppy pose here. So knees are directly below the hips. We're going to walk the hands as far forward as they can, still keeping the knees below the hips. And we're going to inhale and exhale. Just take the chest to the ground or as close to the ground as you can reach it. Getting a really deep back bend here. Pressing into the earth with the hands. Pressing the knees into the earth to hopefully just get yourself another little inch of stretch in the shoulders and back. We're going to come through center and just take a child's pose really quickly to reset everything. Return to the breath. And we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So go ahead and come into our down dog. Left foot comes out behind us. We take a couple fire hydrant circles in either direction. Waking up through that left hip. And then the left foot kicks out behind us. We look through the hands. Coming through a plank, we bring the left knee into the chest and tap it to the left elbow. Inhale, come back into our three-legged dog. Exhale, take the knee between the chest, hug the knee in towards the chest between the arms. Exhale, back into our down dog. Inhale, we'll take the knee between the arms, tap the left knee to the right elbow, come back into our down dog. And then we're just gonna step on the next inhale. We're gonna step that left foot outside the left hand, coming into this lizard variation. Pausing here, feeling the stretch in a different area. Take a moment to notice, how is this side different than the other side? Is it a little easier or maybe a little more challenging? Just pausing here, right knee's on the earth, sway a bit from side to side. We're going to take the right palm to the earth and inhale, open up through the left hand, twist, easy twist here, looking up towards the sky. Big inhale here, long, smooth exhale. Both hands come down to the earth. Maybe we heel toe that left foot so that the left toes are off the edge of the mat. Lift the right knee off the ground. Again, option here to climb down onto the forearms if this feels accessible to you today. Holding a super deep lizard stretch. Waking up through the hips and the low back, actually. One more deep breath here, and we'll step the left toes back behind us. And on an exhale, slowly lower your chest to the earth. Let the toes come onto the tops of the feet. And we'll inhale, just take one cobra here this time. Inhale, straightening the arms. Exhale, chest comes back to the earth. This time, if you're getting tired, you can climb through the knees and press up into our down dog. Or you can try to just come right into the plank if you're feeling hungry for sweat today. Inhale, left foot comes out behind us. Exhale, left knee comes between the arms. Hug the left knee into the chest for 3, 2, 1, and step the left foot between the hands. Come on to the right knee. We'll inhale, come into our crescent lunge here. Steeple grip, look up towards the hands. Inhale and exhale, allow the thumbs to come farther towards the back of the room. Follow the hands with your gaze until you're in a back bend here. Inhale, exhale, come back through center. We're going to come onto, well, we're already on the feet, but we're going to come off that right knee. Inhale, take ourselves up into a high lunge. Pause here. Let's take a deep breath in together. Exhale out through the mouth. Holding this here, making sure that the shoulders are not crunching up towards the ears. Flat back. You're doing amazing. Keep the energy through the legs. And then on an exhale, we're going to open up into our warrior 2. Right knife edge of the right foot is now parallel with the back of the mat. Inhale, opening up through the arms, opening up through the chest. Staying low through that left leg. Look over the left fingertips and flutter them a little bit. Then we're going to scoop that left palm forward, up and back. Walk the right hand down the right leg, reversing warrior. Inhale here, exhale, side stretch. And then we're going to shorten the stance, straighten the legs, maintaining the same posture of the feet though. I'm going to reach forward with the arms in a T, reach as far forward as you can, and then drop the left fingertips towards the left leg, open up through that right arm. Triangle pose. Inhaling here. Exhaling. We have almost made it through class. Amazing. You can extend that right arm forward if you want to, over the ear. Awesome. And then we're going to come up once again, adjust the feet this time so that both feet are facing the front of the mat. You can always come onto the right toes here, making sure that the hips are both shining forward, as if there's headlights on your hips and you're trying to just shine them straight forward. And then we're going to inhale, creep forward, maybe using blocks here, maybe on the right toes, and exhale, fold over that left leg. Deep hamstring stretch. Once again, this is a beautiful place to return to the breath. Pulling that left hip into the hip socket. Letting your breath be like water here. No tension in the neck. Then we're going to walk the hands forward, step the left foot back to the back of the mat. Looking straight down at the hands, we're going to lower slowly, this time pausing halfway down to the ground and flipping the toes here so the tops of the feet are on the ground. And then pressing through the hands to straighten the elbows, coming into an upward dog, where the only things touching the ground are the hands and the feet. Then we'll flip the toes under, come back once again into our down dog, last down dog of practice today. Do with that information what you will. We're going to inhale, take the left toes out behind us. Exhale, bring the left knee in between the arms, tap it towards the right elbow, hold this for 3, 2, you can do it, 1, straighten the left leg towards the right. We're going to take that right hand up towards the ceiling as we slowly come onto the soles of both feet. Inhale here, a triangle pose, fallen triangle. Again, only do this if you feel really stable in this left shoulder, pressing firmly through that left hand. Inhaling, opening up through the pelvis and the back. Stretching through the right hand. Inhale into the belly, opening the heart. Exhaling, taking both hands to the ground, leaving the legs where they are. We're just gonna let the hips come to rest on the earth. Exactly, it's weird crossing L shape. Coming onto the forearms here. We're just gonna hold this hip stretch, twist thing for 3 breaths. Allowing the blood flow to return back to normal. Noticing how you're feeling right now. Maybe you're sweating, maybe you feel a little frustrated, maybe you feel really proud. Whatever you're feeling, just observe it, accept it, try not to judge it. Just by showing up today, you're doing something impressive. Then we'll come onto the butt here, sitting right up. We'll stretch the legs out wide to either side. Inhale here, getting tall through the back. And exhale, climb the fingertips forward, flexing through the toes. Taking a wide-legged forward fold here. Allowing the breath to further just return back to normal. You can sway a bit from side to side. Really worked all the parts of our body today. Just relaxing into the breath, making sure that the toes are pointing straight up towards the ceiling, not caving in. Then we'll come back through center. Take both legs facing towards the front of the mat this time. And then on an exhale, we're just going to slowly come back down, laying on the back, taking the hips into the chest for a quick hug. Feel free to take happy baby here. Peace fingers around the big toes, or maybe hands grabbing the outer edge of the feet. You can straighten one leg and bend, and straighten the other leg, bend. Pulling the feet closer towards the body, allowing this to open you up through the hips. Awesome. Then for our final pose, our final effort-filled pose today, we're going to take either bridge pose or full wheel. So full wheel's in your practice already. I encourage you to just go ahead and get there on your own. But if you want to work into it with me, you can walk the feet as close in towards the butt as you can. Take the hands, palms facing down at either side of the hips. Inhale here, making sure no weight is in the neck, that all the weight is in the shoulders. And press the hips on an exhale up towards the sky. Pressing through the hands, clenching the glutes. Opening slowly. Making sure the whole time that we're not putting a whole bunch of pressure in the neck. Bridge pose, making sure that the knees are not caving out to the sides. We can exhale and vertebrae by vertebrae come back down to center. Allowing the breath to turn back to normal. Allowing the blood to drain back out of the face. And if that was felt super easy for you and you'd like to try a step further, maybe you take the hands, palms facing down, either side of the ear. And again, I only recommend this maybe if you have done wheel before, because this is a good pose to learn in person. Pressing the palms into the earth, fingertips facing towards the body. Walking the feet once again in close towards the glutes. We're going to inhale, press into the soles of our feet to take the hips off the ground. And as we exhale, we're going to press into the hands. See if we can straighten those arms and come into our first full wheel of the day. Breathing, clenching through the glutes, activated through the legs. If at any point this feels bad, just go ahead and come out as slowly as you can, reversing movements. If you're here, just really open through the chest. Take one more big breath in, and then we will exhale. Bend the arms, come back onto the shoulders, and slowly vertebrae by vertebrae, come back down to lay flat on the back. Deep breath in through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth. Excellent work today, whatever you did. Just pausing here for a few short breaths of shavasana. Continuing to breathe in and out, laying flat on the back, eyes closed. Soften through all the muscles of your body. Maybe do a little body scan, starting with the toes and creeping up through the body, noticing where you're holding on to tension. And with every exhale, see if you can release it. Softening through the belly and the shoulders, softening through the neck. Letting go of any expression you're still holding on to in the face. Breathing slowly in, breathing slowly out. Just take 5 more breaths here in shavasana at your own pace. I'll wake you up when it's time to get up, but we pushed ourselves really hard today, and it's good to take a little extra time in shavasana when you do that. Great, begin to move the tongue in the mouth, wiggle the fingers and toes. Maybe you come on to one side in the fetal position for a moment. Press yourself slowly up to sit. Taking hands at heart center in prayer. We're going to take one final moment here to sit up extra tall. Think of a word you would like today to be about for you. And then we're going to exhale, bend forward. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.